Hi everybody, this is the first time I've ever done a video like this, but I think it's about time to do a video about EA Sports and FIFA. First things first, I'd like to talk about this latest weekend on FUT Champions, which has been probably the worst weekend league on EA Sports and FIFA for a long time. It started on Friday at about 9 o'clock. The weekend league went off. Matchmaking went off from 9 PM UK time until roughly about 11 AM, on the Saturday morning. It then went off again at about 4:30 PM on Saturday afternoon, and didn't come back on again until maybe 3 PM. 3 AM, sorry, not PM, 3 AM on Sunday. And all EA Sports didn't even tweet about it until today, when they said that sorry that this happened again, which I'm getting sick of hearing from EA Sports that they're sorry that this happened, because this has now happened, with no word of a lie, about 30 times since the game came out in September to now. It's happened about 30 times, at least 30 times, maybe even more. And what did they do to compensate us for the being sorry? They gave everybody their 2000 FUT Champions points back, and then that's it. They haven't given any packs. They haven't done anything like that for the problems that they've been having, to actually apologise, to say sorry. They've given no packs, no nothing. All they've done is they give you the 2000 FIFA points, and that's it. It's like EA don't care about anybody but themselves. They don't care about how much money they make from like us fans. All they care about is selling FIFA points. They don't care about us fans that play the game. They don't care about those that play FUT Champions. They don't care about those that play squad battles. They don't care about those that don't even play Ultimate Team. They don't care about those that play career mode or pro clubs, because they've done nothing to change anything on career mode or pro clubs for the past 5 years. Everything's been the same. All I care about is making money from FUT Champions, FIFA points and stuff like that, because they seem to think if you can qualify for FUT Champions, then people will buy FIFA points, and then they want to get a squad together to play in FUT Champions. So that's all I care about, is the FUT Champions and the FIFA points. They don't care about any other game mode bar that. And when the gameplay is so bad as what it is now, they've changed everything. The gameplay is slow in FUT Champions. If you played it, you would know yourself. It's slow. The passes are rubbish on it. The shooting's even worse on it. You know, it's all because people have complained in the past about finesse shots, about scoring from corners with headers and overhead kicks, about timed finishing and everything. So they've gone and changed everything on the game, and it's just made the game even worse. The game is at the worst state I've ever seen a FIFA game, and I've been a FIFA fan ever since it came out for Mega Drive, N64, stuff like that. I've played every FIFA game there is to play, and I have to say this has to be the worst FIFA game I've ever played in my life. It is the worst FIFA game that's ever existed that's been made, and it's because EA Sports could not give a damn about us as consumers who are buying a game. They just couldn't care less. They just care about making the money on FIFA points. All the SBCs have been absolutely crap for money. apart from a handful that I can count on one hand that's been decent, but most of them have been so expensive that you're being forced to buy FIFA points. But the game is just in such a bad state. I know for a fact that I'm not buying FIFA 20 anymore. I did have plans to pre-order FIFA 20 because I pre-ordered every other FIFA, but based on this past weekend and based on this past game actually from September, I just feel like it's not worth it. It's not worth buying FIFA anymore. Not worth even bothering to play FIFA anymore. And I feel like the only reason why EA is getting away with this rubbish is because they've got no real competition. As a FIFA gamer, as a football gamer, they've got no competition because PES isn't, you can't class that as competition because they don't have the licenses for anything anymore. They've lost the Champions League, the Europa League license to EA. They can't even display the proper team names or anything on PES. The only thing they can do is put some certain players. They don't even have the proper stadium rights apart from Barcelona, which they bought. It's just been one mess up after another from EA, and because they've got no competition, they can get away with it because EA knows that most of those guys, maybe even a few girls who like football, want to play a football game and know that they're the only competition that they can play because PES isn't up to scratch to anywhere near what FIFA is. I've got a feeling that if EA Sports actually had a competition, that they would have to do something about that game. They would be forced to do something about that game. It's just really poor the way EA Sports are going about things, like really poor. I mean, yesterday, Saturday and Friday, they didn't even tweet out about the problems that they were having. Not at all, no tweets, no nothing about anything that was wrong until today when they tweeted that they were trying to fix things and if things had apparently been fixed, but I don't believe that. I reckon this problem will continue. And there's a lot of people out there asking why EA Sports or EA in general is having so many problems with our stream, with our servers and with the gameplay and stuff. So here's a little thing that EA will probably not tell you, but I know for a fact, is that the reason why the servers can't handle it is because every server that EA has got, every game that the EA has got, is all hooked up to the same server. So your FIFAs, your Maddens, your NHLs, your golf games, your UFCs, all your fighting games and stuff that you've got that's made by EA, all of them games, like Anthem and stuff, is all hooked up to one server. One server, just one server to do every game, which is absolutely pathetic when you think of how much money EA Sports is making off of every single game that they've got. To have every game hooked up to one server is absolutely pathetic. It's just because it's saving money for them. I believe that if each game, or maybe like not even each game, if like every 2 games were hooked up to one server, so say like your football and like your American football, the rugby and stuff like that, if they were hooked up to one game, if your fighting games were hooked up to one server, if all them were hooked up to the separate servers and 2 games on one server, I believe you wouldn't be having any of this problem. But the fact that EA Sports people can't see this, the workers that are working for them can't see this, and yet people like me who is just a consumer can see where the problem lies. It tells you all about EA Sports, about how they're hiring their people. They're hiring dummies who don't know what they're doing, who couldn't tell you their arse from their elbow, which is pathetic. They're hiring all these people. Surely one of them must have the idea to say, well, wait a minute, we're releasing all these games onto one server. Surely we should be going to get different servers because of how bad these servers are. I mean, they were having problems years ago with the servers, with just the FIFA and stuff. And since then, there's been loads and loads of EA Sports games came out since then. More and more people on the servers means more and more trouble. That's why they're crashing for so long. The servers just cannot handle the amount of pressure that are being put under the servers because of how many people is on it. They need to really change servers. They either need to increase servers, or, like I said, they need to do 2 games on one server and then another 2 games on another server, just to ease the pressure of the servers are under. Because if you imagine how many millions of people play EA Sports games, you can imagine how much pressure them servers are under, holding all them people online. I mean, Fortnite, if you look at Fortnite's got so many more players than what EA Sports have. Yeah, they've got only the one server to play the one game, and that's why Fortnite have no problems. If EA Sports did something like that, it would be beneficial to them and beneficial to us, because it means there would be no problems with playing any games online, with gameplays and stuff, because when the servers are so bad, the gameplay is so bad as well, which makes FIFA just, it's unplayable at the moment. I've tried to play FUT Champions. I'm usually a player that finishes gold, usually like anywhere gold. I used to finish on the old FIFAs, sometimes in elite, but I was mainly always a gold player. But this past weekend, I've played about 8 games and I've won 1. I've just given up on playing it this weekend because the gameplay is so bad to play. You can't even get your players to make tackles. You can't get your players to hardly shoot. The shooting is so bad on the game. Even the passing, you try to pass the ball to a short player that's standing next to him, and it'll go about 50 feet wide to where he was standing and gets intercepted straight away. When the game's that bad and you kind of make a simple pass, how are you supposed to play it? And EA expects everybody just to play. EA doesn't give you any free packs or nothing, they've done nothing but give you the 2,000 points back that you would have put into the game. But if you're in like Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, it'll take you like 4 to 6 games to get them 2,000 points. So really, they've given people like us nothing. It's just hard to imagine how bad EA Sports have been lately. It's just, EA have declined. I would have to say in the past 5 years they've declined really hard. There's less and less people playing EA Sports games now, and I understand why now. I understand that they're starting to become greedy. They're starting to become greedy over how much money they can make on in-game purchases, rather than caring about their own game, about how bad the gameplay is, about how bad that game is. All they say is dollar signs. Oh, well, we're making this much money on selling in-game purchases, microtransactions and stuff. So if we're making this much money, we're not going to change anything, which is the wrong way to look at it, because it's just taking people away from playing their games. Like I've said, I will not be buying FIFA 20, and I'm standing by that. I've played every FIFA game since it came out, and I've just had enough. I've really had enough. The only way I would even consider buying FIFA 20 is if FIFA came out and said, right, we're going to fix all the server problems, we're going to make FIFA have its own servers, we're going to scrap FIFA points altogether, and we're just going to do proper way of caring about the game players, caring about the game, and caring about the consumers, because lately it just seems like EA Sports is sticking the two fingers up at the people that play their games. It's like, oh, you paid all this money for it, we're not going to compensate you when we're doing something wrong. I mean, the amount of things that have gone wrong with this game, it's unbelievable. It's like it's only been out since September, and it's out September to September. So I mean, we're like 6-7 months into the game, and already it's crashed, been down at least 30 times since it came out. And that's not the way a game should be. You should be able to play the game whenever you want. You purchased the game, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, I've purchased FIFA points in the past, but I'm not purchasing anymore. I'm not gonna put more money into AA's pockets because I've had enough of it. I feel like AA just could do a whole lot more for the community than what they're doing, and everything's just been one big headache after another. And I feel sorry for some of the workers at AA, because there's a lot of them being put under a lot of pressure. The ones from Ultimate Team specifically, the only ones that tweeted out all about all these problems are the workers of Ultimate Team. EA Sports didn't even bother to tweet anything out about it, but the workers did, about the problem that they were having and what they were trying to fix and stuff like that. But I mean, some of these workers had like 30,000 viewers subscribed and stuff like this. EA Sports has like 7 million subscribers, and they couldn't even be bothered to tweet to say, sorry, we're having problems at the moment, we're going to try and get everything fixed. They couldn't even be bothered to do that until today, when they tweeted that they were sorry about the problems, that they were sorry about the past weekend. But I mean, last weekend was the same, the weekend before that was the same. It's been the same for the past 3 weeks. Problems after problem after problem for the past 3 weeks on the weekend league. For the past 7 months, it's been pretty much the same problems with everything. And it's not right. It's not right, AA just caring about how much money they can make. It's not right about how much money AA is making. And I just feel like people should start boycotting AA Sports until they decide to fix the things that are broken with the game. Because at the minute, FIFA's a broken game. FIFA is broken. Most of the games are broken because of in-game transactions, microtransactions. It's all about how much money they can make. It's never about giving things back to the community, back to the consumers that have bought the game. It's never been giving things back. It's always been take from them and never give, which is ridiculous for a multi-billionaire company. For what they've given back to what they've gained is an absolute joke. And I think if many big YouTubers such as Nepenthes, MadHD, Bateson, Castro and stuff like that started making making videos the same as what I'm doing here, having a big go at EA Sports, it might just hopefully force them to have to change something, because the way things are going, FIFA 20 is just going to be as bad as what FIFA 19 is, and that's not something I want. If I would really like FIFA to change things so that I can actually buy FIFA 20, knowing that everything's going to be completely different to what it is now. But the reason I'm not going to buy FIFA 20 at the moment is because I know for sure FIFA 20 is going to be as bad as FIFA 19, because they're going to have the same problem over and over and over again of everything, because I've done nothing about the servers. The servers have been the same since FIFA 11 at least. They've never changed nothing about any servers. They lie and say that they have changed the servers, but same problems have happened since FIFA 11, so I've got a feeling that they haven't changed nothing. They might have changed where some of them are placed, but other than that, they haven't changed any of their servers. So I don't want this to be a really long video, so I'm probably going to wrap things up very quickly, because there's so much I could say about EA Sports, but I don't want to, because I'll probably be sued by EA for libel or something. So, like I've told you, to wrap things up, EA is all using one server for everything, and they're refusing to change all the servers to individual games, and that's why there's been so many server issues over the past 6-7 years maybe, because they're all using the one server. I'm hoping that EA will finally change things, but I can't say it because they're making so many millions of microtransactions. If everybody would stop buying microtransactions, it might change EA Sports' minds, but until that day I very much doubt it. I mean, there's been a few countries, Germany, Holland, Belgium I think, have banned FIFA points for gambling reasons, because to be fair, it is like a gamble. You're opening a pack, it's got such a low pack weight, you don't know what you're going to get in the pack. If every other country done the same thing and banned FIFA points, I believe then it would force EA Sports to change microtransactions completely at the way it's looking, because at the minute all they're caring about is how much money they're making, and never about how many consumers they've got, or anything about how their game is affected by it, all this. Really, it's just giving EA a bad name for themselves, and it's been like that for about 7 years. It's been like that. EA's had a bad name for itself for about 7 years, and that's going to keep on remaining until they do something to help consumers instead of helping ourselves. But for now, I've been Simon Armstrong. You can follow us on YouTube. I might make some more videos if this one gets many likes. I'll make some more videos on EA Sports maybe, because I think at the moment I'm probably the only one that's actually got the balls to say anything bad about EA Sports, because everybody just doesn't want to get involved. But I'm not scared of EA. I'll take EA on anytime I want. I could take them on anytime, because everything I've told them is, everything I've told you here is the truth, and I'm not afraid to tell the truth. So if EA want to come after us, bring it on, because you cannot disprove anything that I've said here, because everything is the truth. So for now, I'm going to wrap things up, and if this, give this a like, maybe subscribe to my channel, and if it gets many likes, I'll make another video on EA Sports, and I'll keep making videos and sending them to EA Sports, giving them more suggestions to what they can do to improve, because that's all I'm trying to do. I want to see things improve. So for now, I've been Simon Armstrong. I'm going to wrap things up. I'm out. Peace.